After I get back to the lab, I take the broken TV down to the brown tube workshop for repairs. Daru and Mayuri have already gone home, so I have to carry the TV down a narrow staircase by myself. It's brutal, back-breaking work, but I manage. I push the workshop door open with my hips and head inside. The room is dimly lit by the setting sun, but the gloom is offset by the glare from the gigantic CRT in the center of the room. A 42-inch CRT television. It doesn't seem like something you could get in modern Japan. With LCD TVs becoming a new standard, I seriously doubt anyone would want a bulky old CRT.
Oh, どうした岡部?
Sitting in front of the huge CRT is an equally huge man reading a sports newspaper. He's the workshop's manager, actually the owner of this whole building, Tennoji Yugo. I call him Mr. Brawn. It's a fitting name for someone who loves brawn tubes.
どうしたもこうしたもないですよ。あなたからもらったテレビが壊れた。
おめえ、俺のブラウン管を乱暴に扱いやがったな。
I barely managed to set the heavy TV on the counter.
愛が足りねえんだよ、愛が。
A muscle-bound bald guy talking about love. It sends shivers down my spine. For Mayuri, just fatty. I didn't want any of the other Gero froggies, but I did want fatty. But now that I think about it, it wasn't really that cute. Actually, it was kind of weird looking. I wonder why I wanted one so bad. Yeah, I just kind of realized fatty kind of looks like Daru-kun. Oh wow, that's Mayuri. Yes. Doing all these blind, by the way.
Shuriをお願いしたい。最優先だ。
相変わらず変な話し方だな、おめえって。
Mr. Brown begins investigating the cause of the problem. With nothing better to do, I look around the store. I don't know if it's just the dust hanging in the air, but something feels stagnant about this place. There are CRT screens everywhere. The haphazard layout makes them seem like junk, but they're all functional, according to Mr. Brown. He's got a full range of both old and new. Some of them are probably older than me. There are even some flat screen and HD CRTs that came out just before LCDs took the market.
今日は遅くまでやっているんですね。普通だったら夜7時には店じまいでしょ。
The crowds in Akiba thin quickly at night. All the major electronics stores close around 8 or 9 o'clock. And then, as if the liveliness of the day was simply a lie, the town goes silent.
今日はこれから客が来るんでな。
客？例の小動物ですか？
おめえな、俺の愛しい娘を小動物呼ばわりするんじゃねえ。
The manager glares at me and takes a photo from his wallet. It is a picture of a young girl shyly making a peace sign at the camera. One might assume this muscle-bound man to be some kind of pervert, but the girl is actually his daughter. She's about 12 years old now, I think. His love for her is second only to his love for CRTs. Or was it the other way around? I see her in the store every now and again. What was her name again?
ないに手出したらぶっ殺すからな。
That's it. Nai. A rare name that means to braid. She pops up at the store now and again, so we've interacted with her before. And by we, I mean Mayuri, since she's the only one Nai gets along with. Nai always hides when she sees me or Daru. I must admit, I'm impressed she can sense my aura of manners at such an early age. Mr. Braun makes a grandiose kissing gesture at his daughter's photo. Once again, shivers down my spine.
しかし、娘以外でこの工房に客が来ることがあるんですか？
I've been renting the second floor for about 6 months, but I don't recall ever seeing a customer. I would be surprised if this place were actually making any money.
客っつうかなんつうか
He puts away the photo and goes back to checking the TV, leaving me with that vague answer.
ああこれは多分基盤のハンダ浮きだな直せろぜ
そうですか。ではよろしく。
待ってろ見積もり書作ってやる
金を取るのか？
当たり前だろ払わねえつもりだったのか
このテレビはあなたからもらったものだぞ。
だからなんだよアフターサービスまでタダでやってやるとは言ってねえぜ
おのれ自分を間近なオンボロを押し付けておいてその言い草とは。
うるせえなだったら人ってやってもいいんだぞ家電リサイクル法で回収費ももらうけどな
横暴だぞ。人類史の未来を変えるやもしれぬ男からたかろうとは。
ああそれ誰のことだ
俺のことに決まっているでしょう。
歯磨いて寝ろよガキそもそも2階をただ同然で貸してやってるこの俺にそういうこと言うとはいい度胸だな
修理代は弾むミスター・ブラウン。
In the end, I'm no match for him. Just then, I hear the door open. I look up to see that a girl has entered the store. She's wearing a vintage jacket and tight shorts that highlight her long limbs and athletic figure. I find myself particularly impressed by her well-defined thighs. Suddenly, time stops. It feels like someone activated the world. The girl is still standing there with her arm in the air. Her smile gradually fades into confusion. What kind of reaction was she hoping for? Seriously. Anyway, is she the person Mr. Braun was expecting? Maybe she's someone he knows personally. Another daughter? Or dare I say, his girlfriend? She finally drops her pose and clears her throat.
さっき電話したアマネです。
And just like that, time starts moving again.
ああバイトの面接したいとこな俺が店長の天王寺だ
バイトの面接だとこんな若い女性が。この新規臭くておしゃれ感ゼロで繁盛もしておらずむさいおっさんが店長のブラウン管工房にバイト希望だというのか。
おめえ来月から2階の家賃1000円増しな
俺は事実を言ったまでですよ。もっとも部外者が口を出す問題ではないが、しかしブラウン管工房がバイトを募集していたとはな。この暇さではその必要性を全く感じないのだが。
ああ、それは私が電話で無理って頼んだんです。
The girl looks a little embarrassed.
最初は断られたんだけどさ、店長さんにどうしてもお願いしますって。
That's honestly surprising.
今時珍しい若者がいたもんだよなまそこの椅子に座んなお嬢ちゃん
失礼します。
Looks like they're going to have a formal interview. I was going to leave, but since Mr. Braun hasn't kicked me out, I'll stick around a bit longer. The girl's expression is stiff. I guess she's nervous. Just because of a part-time job interview? In contrast to how she said she wouldn't take no for an answer, she doesn't seem so enthusiastic.
で名前は何だって
天音鈴葉です。
年は
18。
Same as me.
学生
うん。
She shakes her head.
なんでうちで働きたいんだ
ブラウン管が好きだから。
採用明日から来い
それでいいのか。というかこれはコントか。もしかして仕込みか。
ありがとう店長さん。
Finally, Amane Suzuha seems to relax. Then she looks at me.
ところでさ、君は誰？
俺のな、聞きたいというのか。いや、やめておけ。それを知ることでお前にも最悪が降りかかるかもしれん。これまでも多くの人が俺の名を知ったことで機関に狙われた。アメリカのサラ、イタリアのクラウディア、フランスのシモン。これ以上誰かを危険な目に遭わせるわけには。
おい、アホな妄想してんじゃねえよ。
He just doesn't understand my pain.
このバカ男は2階に間借りしてる岡部倫太郎ってんだ。
岡部ではない。俺は法院。
うるせえ。家賃さらに1000円上乗せするぞ。
岡部倫太郎だ。
The girl stands up, places her hand on my shoulder, and looks at me with a serious expression.
君を狙ってるその期間ってのが何なのかわかんないけど、もし困ってんなら私に相談して。岡部倫太郎、そういうの慣れてるからさ。
Huh? Stuff like what?
場合によっては手段を選ばず痛めつけてやることも可能だし。
ミスター・ブラウン、彼女は採用しない方がいいと思う。
ああ、物騒だな。騒ぎ起こしたらクビにするからな。そもそもその期間なんたらは岡部の創作だから本気にすんな。
創作？
せいぜいそう思ってるがいいさ。
But someday the world will kneel before me. And then Amane Suzuha stares straight at me again. Maybe she has a habit of looking people in the eye?
そういうのが流行ってんだ。勉強になったよ。
Trend? I don't think so.
That's it.
From Lukako. Are you really okay with yesterday's exorcism? I feel like a more traditional ceremony would have been better. I'm worried something might happen to you because my exorcism wasn't strong enough. It bothers me so much I can't sleep at night. Yes, because of that I couldn't do more than 3 practice swings with Samidare. Don't worry, thanks to your exorcism my right arm has been quiet for a while. Still, there's no telling what could set it off. If I'm forced to do battle again, let's just pray that the organization's assassins don't find me. I was at university all morning. As I returned to Akiba, the heat is now becoming unbearable. I grab an iced coffee at the bakery inside Yodobashi to quench my thirst. While I'm at it, I guess I'll check that channel on my phone. I mostly frequent the occult board, the future technology board, and sometimes the physics board. I search for threads on the mass disappearance phenomenon or Makise Kurisu stabbing, but turn up nothing. So were those hallucinations after all? When I peek at the occult board, I find posts and multiple threads from someone claiming to be John Tito. Wait, John Tito is back? John Tito appeared on an American BBS 10 years ago, claiming to be a time traveler. He claimed to have traveled from the year 2036 in order to obtain an old computer, the IBM 5100. His claim started quite a storm amongst the BBS denizens. Taito also made several accurate, if fragmentary, predictions of future events. The start of the Iraq War and the spread of Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, for example. To prove he was from the future, he explained the principles behind his time machine and provided pictures of his operation manual. But after about 4 months, he disappeared without ever revealing his identity. At one point, his predictions gained popularity even in Japan. Yes, he certainly did get some things right. But on the other hand, he missed several others. Some of his posts contradicted each other too. That's why, to this day, most people doubt his authenticity as a time traveler. So after 10 years of silence, that same John Titor is now on a Japanese BBS? Ridiculous. It's obviously a troll. First of all, John Titor is American, yet now he's posting on our channel in Japanese? Let's take a look at his posts. I don't expect you to believe that I came from the year 2036. I see that everyone would like to know more about my time machine. Time travel technology was developed by CERN. They completed the first time machine in 2034. And there are lots of posts. CERN has a monopoly on time machines. Not even the most powerful nations on Earth can acquire one, to say nothing of private citizens. CERN used their time machine for power. By 2036, the world has become a dystopia. There is no war, no conflict. However, that is a false peace founded on the complete eradication of liberty. What does law mean? I came here to change my present. In other words, your future. My mission is to destroy CERN's dystopia and restore freedom to the world. This is a wonderful time you're living in. Everyone is free. But you will lose it all in just 20 short years. It is vitally important that you understand what the future has in store. My time machine is a prototype reverse engineered from stolen CERN technology. Compared to their time machine, its capabilities are quite limited. In 2036, the world is ruled by a single all-powerful governing body. They control every aspect of our lives, deciding what we will eat, where we will live, and whom we will marry. There is no privacy and no choice. Anybody who dares oppose them is eliminated. There are no trials. You're talking about the so-called grandfather paradox. That has been debunked. This world line has a divergence of 0.571024% compared to the world line I came from. Killing my father would alter divergence, creating a world line where my father is dead. However, it would not erase this world line. I would go on existing. CERN is a particle physics research institution. That hasn't changed in 2036. It is possible to meet your past self. The prevailing theory in my time is that nothing would happen. I, however, haven't met my past self. I do not feel the need to prove that I am what I say I am. I am only posting these messages on a whim. My mission comes first. World lines are like an infinite number of rivers flowing in parallel. Along the way, they are constantly branching out into new world lines. This is called divergence. For example, whether or not you post on this message board has practically no effect on this world line's divergence. But if you were murdered, let's say, then divergence would change. However, it would only change by about 0.000002%, if that. A single human being's death is not terribly significant on a global scale. Wars, disasters, acts of terrorism, and other events that cause widespread death and destruction have a much greater effect on divergence. Thanks for telling me about trip codes, I'll make sure to use this one from now on. I'm starting to get tired, so let's pick up again tomorrow. It's been fun talking to everybody. Looks like they've already made an archive of these threads. Of course, there have been sites dedicated to John Titor for years now. This post closely resembles what the original Titor wrote 10 years ago. I've read one of the books on Titor, that's how I know. This new John Titor is clearly an imposter. There are many Titor fanatics on our channel. It's not exactly a household name in Japan, but I doubt anyone would fall for this level of trolling. As I continue to read, however, I find the response the opposite of what I expected. Everyone is accepting this time traveler as if this were his first appearance. Nobody has even mentioned his appearance 10 years ago. Finding this strange, I try posting a retort, but everyone ignores me. What the hell? You can figure this out if you do a little research, people. There's the original John Tito thread archive in English and plenty of Tito blogs in Japanese. I entered John Tito's name into a search engine. 12 matches. Wait, only 12? Moreover, all 12 were about the current Tito's postings on that channel. I can't find a single trace of the Tito from 10 years ago. Bizarre, this just can't be. I searched for information on Tito a few years ago. Back then I got tens of thousands of hits. Is this search engine filtered? I tried searching on another site just to make sure, but it gives the same result. What is this madness? It feels like I've stumbled onto another plane of reality. Could this be another organization conspiracy? These past 2 days I've been surrounded by nothing but chaos and confusion. I'll call Daru. He'll know about Tita for sure. After all, I've talked to him about Tita before. I only vaguely remember the details of that conversation, but I'm positive the conversation happened. By the time I dig my phone out of my bag, I no longer feel like making the call. Instead, I send him an email on the way back to the lab. He replies with this location. By May Queen. He means May Queen plus Nyan squared and May Cafe. Dalu's a regular there. Apparently 3D cat maids are his thing too. May Queen plus Nyan squared is only a 3-minute walk from the lab. Coming from Kuramaebashi Dori, take a left at Sumakoisaka Crossing and you'll find it. That's where I'm headed now. It's usually busy in Akiba during the summer break, but now it's even busier because of the Radikan incident. The area was blocked off yesterday, but it doesn't look like they could keep the main road closed for 2 days straight. I haven't seen a single police officer today. But the Radikan building still seems off limits. The entrance shutters are closed shut and sealed with yellow police tape.
謎の人工衛星墜落から一夜明けた秋葉原です。警察による規制は解除され、駅前にはものすごい数の人が集まっています。墜落した人工衛星がどこの国のものなのかについては現在も調査中とのことで、詳しいことが分かるまで撤去ができない状態です。警察の発表によりますと、爆発などの危険は今のところないということですが、秋葉原を訪れた買い物客や地元商店街の関係者からは不安の声が上がっています。
The media has dozens of cameras set up outside of the police line, and there are nearly twice as many onlookers as reporters, enough to fill the entire street with people. Everyone's aiming their phone cameras at the satellite-like object. So many people. Living in Akiba, you get used to crowds and big events, but a gathering of this size is unusual. I wonder when they'll get rid of that thing. I hope it doesn't explode or something. They've been letting people back into the area, so I guess there's no danger. Still, considering its unknown origin, I'm surprised there isn't more security. Today, like always, otaku are shopping for doujinshi in board games, electronics, or whatever strikes their fancy. Aside from the scene at Radikan, it's the same as any other day. I still don't understand what I saw yesterday. I've half accepted that the mass disappearance was just my imagination. Maybe I've become unable to distinguish reality from fantasy, like the media likes to say about teenagers these days. With that thought in mind, I return my gaze to the street. And there, in front of me, stands a woman holding her phone in front of her face. She took a picture. The phone was clearly pointed at me. I tried to cover my face, but not quickly enough. I turned around just to make sure that she wasn't pointed at someone behind me, but that doesn't seem to be the case. She's still staring at her phone. Without even glancing at me, she turns around and points her phone at some other pedestrian. Maybe she's just taking photos of everyone at the scene, and not just me? But still, I need to have a word with her. The organization is after me, so I can't risk that photo getting out.
Wait!
She doesn't turn around. Is she so engrossed in her photography that she doesn't even notice me? Or does she not catch my magnificent native level English?
ちょっとそこで携帯カメラを使っているあなた、待ってください。
She turns back, finally noticing me. And of course her phone turns with her.
よせ、通るんじゃない。まさか機関の差し金か。
She completely ignores my objection. And then she goes back to looking at her phone.
質問に答えてもらいたいんですがね。あなたは機関の人間か。
If she is, then I may have to take suitable measures.
違うのか。
違うとしても問題がありますよ。俺の写真を持っていると機関に知られれば、あなたにも奴らの魔の手が伸びるかもしれない。とにかく今撮った俺の写真を即刻削除してほしい。
She even listening?
謝る。
Wow, she finally speaks. Just a whisper, but it's something.
不快にさせたなら。
She lowers her head slightly in a bow. Or at least I think it's a bow. She's been looking down all this time, so I can't really tell.
謝るより先に写真を削除してほしいわけだから。
風景撮ってた。
Her fingers dance across her phone's keys with impressive speed, exactly the opposite of her annoyingly slow speech pattern.
風景を撮っていた？観光客？
Or is she one of the people who came to see the satellite? In that case, why did she take a picture of me? She shakes her head without looking at me.
証明。自分が今日どこを歩いたか。
変なやつだな。
桐生萌か。名前。
I guess she's introducing herself. That's nice, but I just want her to delete the photo.
聞きたいことがある。いい？
それより写真を。
都市伝説。秋葉原の。知らない？
An urban legend? What is she talking about? Don't tell me. There is a brilliant but insane mad scientist said to be lurking in Akihabara? And now that brilliant but insane mad scientist is the target of every assassin in the underworld?
俺はこの町に長く居すぎたのかもしれん。だがそろそろ潮時か。
Akihabara. You weren't such a bad town. I'm glad that...
幻のレトロ PC。
レトロ PC？
She replies with a nod. Or something like a nod.
秋葉原のどこかにあるらしくて、それが。
そうか。
Nothing about a mad scientist. I'm relieved but also disappointed. At any rate, this is the first I've heard about a phantom retro PC.
幻のレトロ PC というとキュッパチあたりか？
That's the first model that comes to mind. Are 98s really that hard to find? She shakes her head slightly, or something like a shake.
いいえ、これ。
She turns her phone towards me. The screen shows an oddly shaped computer. It's hard to tell since the picture's monochrome, but it looks like some kind of PC. It looks kind of familiar.
IBM 5100。
An IBM 5100.
ジョン・タイターが手に入れようとした PC か。
Her fingers twitch, I think.
見たことは？
ない。名前を知ってるぐらいだ。
Coincidence? No.
これもシュタインズゲートの選択かもしれん。
詳しい人知らない？
ダルンならば詳しく知っているかもな。そいつは俺の マイフェイバリットライトアームであるスーパーハッカーでな。MI6 の中枢にすらハッキングできる実力の持ち主なのだ。
The MI6 part is a slight exaggeration. If that ever did happen, Men in Black would break down our door and take us away. But the super hacker part is true. The depth of his computer knowledge is uncanny. Speaking of Daru, I'm supposed to meet him at May Queen plus 9 squared. I don't have time to stand and chat with some crazy lady I don't know.
では俺は行く。オンライン。メディアスクラムもほどほどにな。
I tried to make a smooth exit, one-liner and everything, but she grabs my sleeve before I can disappear into the crowd.
何をする？
メルアド、教えて。
何が狙いだ？
スーパーハッカーの。
I guess she wants to hear Daru's story. It's my fault for mentioning him. Well, I'm meeting up with Daru, so why don't I just take her along? No, wait a second. This could be a devious trap. Maybe she's really a spy sent to kidnap Daru. I'm defenseless without him. My only other ally is Mayuri, whose skills amount to costume design.
断る。今ダルを失うわけにはいかん。
I slip past her and start walking faster. I glance back. She's following me. I pick up the pace, but she's still chasing me.
俺の後ろを歩くな。
Unperturbed, she shows me her phone again. On the screen is the picture of me that she took.
ゲーまだ削除していなかったのか？
教えてくれたら削除する。
この俺を脅すとは。貴様、何者だ？
I attempt to glare her into submission. Her eyes are already lowered. My glare is ineffective.
私は
She hesitates for a second.
アークディライトのバイト。
なんだそれは。
ヘンプロ秋葉原にある。
One of those companies that writes articles for magazines? Is this gloomy lady really fit for that kind of work?
貴様、俺の写真を無断で記事にするつもりだな。
The mad scientist of Akiba, unveiled. I can see the headlines now. That's all the organization will need to turn Akiba into a sea of blood. No, I must avoid that gruesome outcome at all costs. I have no choice.
交換条件に乗ろう。
At any rate, as long as she has that photo, I have no way of knowing how it might be used. I pull up my email address and show it to her. Waking back and forth from my phone to hers, she enters my info with terrifying speed.
そうか。この女、能力者か。
I dub her power Shining Finger. Her magical thumb types cursed emails at 255 characters per minute. Whoever receives one dies. She's done typing my address. It took all of 5 seconds.
名前は
法院京馬。マッドサイエンティストだ。
どう書くの？
フェニックスの法王に陰、そして凶悪なる真実。
は？
フェニックスの法王に陰、そして凶悪なる真実だ。
I repeat my perfect explanation. This is the origin of my true name. Explaining the in part of Ho-in would take too long, so I left it out. She enters my name with her head tilted to the side.
こう。
なんだこれは、ふざけるな。俺のマナをバカにするつもりか。
She lowers her head a little more, an apologetic bow, I guess.
ならば携帯を貸せ。俺が入力してやる。
She She shakes her head, clutching her phone with both hands as if to protect it from me. Like a spoiled child who can't let go of a toy, she shields it from me with all her might. What does she think I'm gonna do? Her reaction is a little depressing. Anyway, she's obviously not going to hand her phone over, so I ask for her address instead. I'll send her a blank mail. She told me her name a few minutes ago, but I forgot it already, so I entered her as Shining Finger. What am I doing standing here in the middle of the street? Let's hurry up and send her a blank email. I don't need to type anything. Just to give her my name. I already put in my contacts. Just send the blank email to Shining Finger. Alright, I'll do it. Jesus. She frowns while looking at her own phone. And then she glances my way. I can feel those eyes clearly saying hurry up. I'm hesitant. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to give her my true name. Regardless of how long I hesitate, I don't think that she'll let me go until I send her the email. She sure is persistent. Looks like I have no choice but to send the email. We exchange a few words, and then I get away from her as fast as I can.